The title I read was actually, Fuck Off, I'm a fucking Welsh fucking learner. That's the title. Now, how to get over with the Welsh judges, I thought, was to start off with this line. Rwy'n teimlo fel I chreu gochyn hangol I freude. You know that on the Welsh flag, there is a red dragon. And it's the only red dragon on a flag at the United Nations. The red dragon is underground, as is the white dragon, waiting for the next battle to come up, when the red dragon of Wales is going to come up and take over the white dragon. I don't know whether Brits allow that to still be on the flag, but there it is. So I say, I feel like the red dragon in the middle of battle. Bardd Americanaidd tumfat unghangol I stomp. A stupid American poet in the middle of the stomp. Isiau ymddiheuriad dim posibiliad, isiau yngyfeiriad dim ddiffiniad o wirchweiriad, a dystreiniad ddiffiniad. Want an apology? No possibility. My address, the contradiction of definition. Definition, demolition. O, hin gochera vonangi, my unkubot. Beth ydur ti a miniau fraud, ud suppos ger maun guswig o gnaud. Old river boatman death, he knows it. What art thou and I, brother, but this uniform of bones and flesh? De goede ginchau I God ar eich ar R. Williams Perry, ar T.H. Perry Williams in no imperialis Americanaidd. The above lines were stolen on your behalf from R. Williams Perry and T.H. Perry Williams in the name of American imperialism. You know, I thought by dropping in these famous lines of Welsh poetry, not only would I be engaging in appropriation, which of course is the most popular contemporary American poetic school, but also letting the Welsh feel that I was going to try to get away with using these great lines myself, being of course just another American imperialist poet stealing the lines. Fonaddigian o Bonadagesiai, Fichinich Gintoff o Ganhaneth. Ladies and gentlemen, my first line in Canhaneth. Now, one reason why Welsh has lasted these centuries is because Welsh poetry has its own poetic devices that you won't find in any other language. The Canhaneth. The Canhaneth can best be translated as consonant chime. You take a line of your poetry, divide it in the middle with your caesura, like you're going to do, and then the first part of the line and the second part of the line, take out the vowels, the consonants chime with each other. The ka, the la, and the could all be mirrored on both sides. Maybe there's some rhyme in there too. 5 different ways of doing Canhaneth. But if you speak Welsh, it's not like when we hear a sonnet, we kind of might feel that might be a sonnet. If it's written Petrarchan or Shakespearean, you might hear a rhyme scheme going on or something. But the Welsh know their Canhaneth, and they hear the consonants chime. So once again, having learned my slam at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, I know how to get over with an audience is to speak that lingo. So here's my first line of Canhaneth. First in Welsh again. In isgwyd yn fy esger. Did you hear it? In isgwyd in fy esger. It's tough to hear it in English. It goes, in English it's translated, shaking in my bones. It's true, you know, I am shaking in my bones. And you know why? because I'm up here at the Stomp and I'm just a fucking Welsh fucking learner. That's why. Baby, baby, unig ffordd o adal I gerddon, I cwsna, lle mae pob cwsyn I lod yn air Gymraeg, yn fy mein I lond a Freudwidian. Baby, baby, the only way to stop this poem is to kiss, kiss, where each kiss becomes a word in Welsh, in my big head of dreams.
Well, the original Babette's feast went on late, late into the night when all of these old Puritans just drank some champagne without knowing what it was. I wish we could go on late, late, late into the night, too. We're already going later into the night. I just have so many questions for you, our mutual passion for endangered languages being part of it. Okay, how did you learn Welsh? Who are you? Who are you?
I went, the Welsh is the only language that's been on the official endangered list and then come off. How did they do that? And I've given, in the midst of that poem, I gave you some, that they're keeping up with poetic traditions like the slam while still maintaining their own back from the 12th century. They are allowing English words to come in. There are no purists about it, especially curse words, but other words as well. For example, round the corner. Round the corner means, you go around the corner. You need a word like that, and English is pretty good at it. So they just round the corner in Welsh. But they also have these heritage centers, I can't believe I'm forgetting my marvelous place where I studied, but they have heritage centers where you can go, adults can go and learn the language. A big problem there is that the property values in Wales is less than that in England. So you find the English coming over and buying summer homes in places that used to be of the Welsh tradition, and now they're bringing English with them as summer people. Some of the summer people realize where they're going and decide to learn the language or give it a stab, One thing that you learn when you find out about the fact that half the 7,000 languages on Earth are going to disappear in the next 50 or 60 years unless we start to pay as much attention to languages as we do to endangered species of plants and animals, is that the answer is in keeping mother tongues alive at home, to allowing the respect of the smaller languages to continue, and let the parents know that their children will not be hindered in becoming part of the bully culture if they speak this language with the parents. They're still going to watch television and walk out on the street and pick up English or whatever the language is there. And in
did you learn? What's your family? What's your ethnic background?
Well, my mom married the only Jew in Harlan, Kentucky. Which meant that she was a coal miner's daughter, Lewis.
She had a Geiger counter.
Yeah. She was a Lewis, which is one of the 5 names you can be in Wales. Jones, is number 1, but Lewis and Thomas come in as 2 and 3. So I do have Welsh blood, so there was part of it. The other part's from Ukraine, by the way, or what we call Ukraine.
Yes. Questions for, what's your name in Welsh?
Oh, I don't have a Welsh name. I don't know what it would be. I believe it's about the same. Roberto Holman, Bob.
So pretty much everybody tonight except A.N. Holmes comes from a small language culture.
I come from small language.
What?
Yeah.
You don't?
I do.
What?
Latvia and Russia and Germany and
Well, but you that's true. But you your own minoritarian concerns. So you definitely.
Well, I think that if everybody scratches back, that's a great thing about the supposed monoglot U.S. is that you scratch back a couple of generations, you will discover, as everybody has here, that who you are really has a lot to do with these languages that are there, and whether they're Latvian or, in my case, Ukrainian and Yiddish, you know, and you know, this great. We could go on and on about Yiddish and Ladino, you know, and other Jewish languages that are. Hebrew, which miraculously was brought back after 700 years of non-use, is an example of how a language can survive if there's the dynamism there to do it.
Questions for Bob? And then we're going to have a little ending, not ceremony, but a little ending. Yes?
Hi, have you looked into Yiddish as well, along with your sort of
Absolutely. Well,
Welsh?
Yiddish, yeah, I made a program, it's on Link TV, about Yiddish and Ladino. You know, it's not a pretty story. Of course, the Hasids keep Yiddish alive, but it's not the Yiddish of Shalom Aleichem. You know, it's not the Yiddish of the 30s here in New York, when there were 6 daily Yiddish newspapers, and the rise of Hebrew is at the expense of Yiddish. Now, the Holocaust, of course, was what dealt the major blow against Yiddish. Still, though, in Israel, Yiddish was forbidden from use, as was Ladino, which is the Sephardic version of Yiddish. It's the Spanish Hebrew. And you can't help but think how different the Knesset would be if, instead of the glorious Zionist Hebrew being the only language spoken, if you would hear those living languages of Yiddish and Ladino. And there are movements. And of course, Arabic, which was the language of the place itself. So.
And the Ethiopian Jews speak
They speak Amharic, yes, but there are 8 languages right around Addis Ababa, but there's 57 languages in Ethiopia. You know.
How many people here spoke a foreign language at home growing up?
I spoke English.
What did you speak? Swedish? Yes? Filipino and Spanish?
By Filipino, it's Tagalog, huh?
French and
Not
German.
Ilocano or Ibanag.
Who?
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear about. You see,
Well, all right.
it's like saying you speak Chinese. You know, there's 800 languages in China.
We're going around the table. All right, that's okay. Yes? Who else? Danish? Icelandic? Yeah.
Romanian.
Romanian?
Yiddish Romanian.
Anybody else on this? This is, yes? French and Yiddish? Greek and Cypriot? Danish? Okay, well, this is to be continued.
Yes, this will be too good.
This is to be continued. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thurman.